This is Drop and Drop by the weekly podcast where a mix of gamers come together to talk all about video games. I didn't change the Christmas music, but it's fine. Oh, goddamn fucking Christmas music. I'm your host, Patrick, dropping in this week. The homie KG, Kayla, how we doing?
Hello, welcome in everyone. I just hit my inhaler. Who up hitting the inhaler?
Who up inhaling they fucking shit right now?
Whatever, a butyrol. We love.
Let's go. We love. Also dropping in the king of Twitch, Jake Twitcher. Jake, how we doing?
Let's just say I hit my inhaler just before this show.
Oh? And what drugs were in your inhaler, Jacob?
A butyrol?
Albuterol, whatever.
or whatever, carrying a lot of weight there. Shout out to the chat. We got Blaster Goblin saying, "Oh hell yeah, it's Christmas." I know, I forgot to change it. We got Sirius, we got Big Freaky, we got Coal Mines, we got High Score Weekly on audio only. Thanks for being here, y'all. Tonight we're going to be talking about our earliest gaming memories. Over in the Discord, dropindropoutpod.com to join. The homie Coal Mines suggested this topic, and we liked it so much we said, let's do it. So that's what we're going to do. But before we get into that, how about some quick little housekeeping, Jake? If you don't know, you probably do, but if you don't know, in a few short weeks, we're going to be doing our in-person live stream extravaganza starting January 30th. Friday night, we're going to be doing like a 6 or 7 hour stream, and then Saturday, we're going to be doing a 12-hour stream. We've already announced on Friday night, we're doing the Halo 2 Jamboree 2, yet another community Halo game night. But we are going to slow drip some other announcements. So tonight, ignore the B-roll, because we're going to talk about Booger Man later. Spoilers. Let me drop that out and pull up another fun thing that we're going to be doing, Jake, which is the video game music battle. We're going to be doing some songbattle.io. I think we're doing this Saturday night, I think. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get ready. Start pontificating your fucking songs that you're going to want to submit. We're going to be doing video game music, but we're also going to be doing other music as well, I'm sure. We're going to have a fun time with it. And then, have we announced anything else about this other than the Halo 2 Jamboree 2, Jake or Kayla?
No, and
I think
length of
that's all.
streams. Yeah, just
Yeah. Okay.
for events. 2
The rest
events.
is
that they know of.
secret.
Okay.
Song battle is gonna be. We don't have the time exactly yet, but we'll let you know.
It'll be good, though.
Evening jamboree-ish time, I think, is what
Yeah.
we're going to aim for there.
I think so, too.
If you just stay for the whole 12 hours, then you'll be there for it, and you
Easy.
should just request off work because, I mean, it's the weekend
We
also
did.
if you work a normal job. So
We did. Oh, a normal job, she says. Fucking hell.
yeah,
Mhm.
you know.
Kayla, the classist over here.
A corporate American job.
Yeah.
Hey, now I'm not one of those. So
Hey, I'm joking. I'm joking. Well, yeah, that's, I think, all of the housekeeping we have. Am I forgetting anything, my sweet, sweet co-hosts?
I don't think so.
Well, then let's fucking talk about our earliest childhood memories. Why is it never Halo 3? I'm a 3 boy. Here's the thing, Blaster Goblin. Sometimes people listen to my hopes and dreams and my requests. This time wasn't one of those times, and we're just doing Halo 2. But I tried to do Halo 3. But however, we also tried to do Halo 3 last time. But somebody in the podcast didn't download it and we couldn't play it. I wouldn't name any names here, but
I would say that we would be shooting ourselves in the foot to do the second Halo Jamboree featuring Halo 3. That just gets complicated. You can never guess where we're going for the third Halo Jamboree next year, though.
You'll never guess. Let's just say the Drift King will be there, Jake.
Right.
Tokyo Drift themed Halo 3 Jamboree. So yeah, we're just gonna go around the horn. We're just gonna kick back, have a little casual conversation about our earliest gaming memories. And there's not a lot of structure here, Jake, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think structure is always needed. I think sometimes it's nice to just put your feet up and talk with your friends. So Jake, I ask you first, what is your earliest gaming memory?
That's a funny question. Let's all just put our feet up, kick our socks off, if you will,
Oh.
and talk about some of these ideas here. So I have like a pretty long list, and I worked it in chronologically.
Smart.
So I do
I
have
didn't.
what is I don't have like a very concrete like this is my first gaming memory, but based on the age of the game and how far back I can remember, the first thing that I can fucking even recall about gaming is being terrified of the intro to Blaster Master for the NES
Whoa.
and the cover, not even the cover, but I guess the artwork on the game cartridge of Fester's Quest. Those are two games that I owned.
Fester's
Are
Quest
you
is
a
a
Fester's
pull.
Quest knower?
Oh yeah. So like for
Not a
me
knower.
to dip my toe in, my earliest memory is the NES. I played older consoles than the NES, but after the NES. Like I remember very vividly at like 12 or 13 at a friend's house. I mean, like, oh, my Nana has an Atari. And I was like, I've never played an Atari before. But at this point, we had like GameCube or whatever. But yeah, NES was, so yeah, Fester's Quest was in the rotation for sure.
Dude,
Dude.
the cover art, you got to look up the artwork for Fester's Quest because I
Yeah.
brought it up and it's fucking terrifying for a child to see. I was like, I don't want to play that game, but then I would put it in and it was pretty cool. It was kind of like, I recall it being kind of like Zelda ish.
A little bit, yeah.
Where it's like a top down exploration, but you're going inside houses and like going through like a neighborhood. It was a very odd game, and I don't remember getting very far in it, but I would wander around in Fester's Quest quite a bit. But then the intro to a Blaster Master. I don't know if any of you guys know this game, but this is like a very old school. Man, it's almost adjacent to like a Metroidvania kind of, but it's just a 2D side-scrolling game, not quite Contra or Metal Slug-ish. It's more exploration-based. Maybe not Metroidvania. I don't know. It's just a 2D action game. But it has this intro where there's this like terrifying scenario that occurs. And I feel like it was just my introduction to science fiction is what scared me about it. Of like, ooh, this is like an
Existential.
otherworldly, this is an otherworldly thing that's transpiring in my video game. And I don't remember exactly all of the stuff that went down, but it has to do with like a kid gets a pet frog,
Yep.
and this frog, I believe, escapes its captivity and gets exposed to like ooze or something like that. And I don't remember if it grows immediately. I think that's the plot of the game, is that the frog is now giant and the frog then goes down like a massive hole. But I remember there being some really odd, like, the vibe was off, even though that might not seem like the scariest thing. The vibe was off. The visuals were freaking me out, and the sound. I remember specifically the sound. I don't know if it was sound, like if it was music or sound effects. There was creepy shit going on, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know about this game." But again, it drew me in.
I didn't play Blaster Master. I've been playing the beginning of the game, and you were almost beat for beat explaining the beginning in a very clear way. Yeah, but then now you're a tank. It seems
so you can get in and out of a tank. So it's like you have a vehicle that you can get out of at any point and then drop like below and go subterranean, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I gotta play Blaster Master again.
Could never. Like this, it looks like you're in the fucking
right.
whatever that thing was in Mass Effect. I forget what it was called. But yeah, no, I didn't play this. But Fester's Quest, I played so much of. I pulled up some B-roll for a second of Fester's Quest, and that unlocked fucking memories. I remember, so the NES, we had it at my Nana's house. It was her NES, fucking OG Nana, and she had this like wicker basket just full of NES games. Some of them in. You remember the sleeve, the NES sleeve, Jake?
Yeah, the black sleeve.
The black sleeve. Some of them were like
dust cover, I believe.
The dust cover, yes, that's exactly right. Some of them would be in the dust cover, some of them wouldn't be. But yeah, so I don't know that she ever had any of the boxes in my time, but it would just be like throwing through and seeing like, oh yeah, pulling this one out of the dust cover. And yet Fester's Quest always jumped out to me, and that was a game that I tried to play so much, and I would get like somewhat far into, but the whole thing with those games, especially as a youngster, was like these games are so fucking hard and obtuse, like no idea where the fuck I'm going. Another one that I played a ton on the NES was Star Tropics, and that was one of those very Zelda-like, where I was like, I have no idea where I'm supposed to go, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, but the music's fun, and I have a yo-yo, and I'm beating the shit out of people with a yo-yo. But did you ever play Star Tropics, Jake?
No, I've never touched Star Tropics.
It was a fucking vibe. But it was the kind of thing where I was so young that I didn't really understand what I was even doing. It was just
Okay.
screen is bright. I'm running
Yeah.
around. I press a button and a thing comes out of my hand. There's this guy, this shirtless man that's giving me quests because it's like you're in like the beach or whatever. But that was a lot of my
Yeah.
very initial NES memories.
It reminds me, you bring something up, and I do want to get to like Kayla's initial memories and stuff, but maybe to bring her into this conversation a bit, if you want to go down this rabbit hole, is there is something about as a early times, I guess, I would get lost in games and be frustrated with the environment that I was in. You know what I mean? Like I was in these NES worlds and I was trying to figure out how to progress in Fester's Quest, but I wouldn't necessarily be enjoying my time there. But then a page turned at some point, and becoming lost in video games, for me, it's when we got to like the 3D era, becoming lost in like hub worlds specifically and not knowing where to go next ended up being like a childhood memory that I am very, very fond of, where like I don't know how I spent so many hours in these like worlds, like the Mario 64 overworld. I have a bunch of them written down here. Like Mario 64, I spent a ton of time in Sonic Adventures overworlds, like a ton of time. Just A, not knowing where to go, but B, not hating my time trying to figure things out, trying to unlock things that might not even exist, or break the games in interesting ways, or see if there was some kind of secret. I don't know. It was always such a fun and fascinating thing to do. I love it.
Yeah, Kayla, what's you? Is it the GameCube for you?
So here's the thing. When we were kind of thinking through this, and I was like, let me see how far back I can remember. And I know we have some like photos and videos to show later, but I was thinking like what kind of got me into video games in general. And the first memories I can think of are like everyone kind of probably has like someone mentioned their aunt. I think both of you mentioned aunts, but mine was my dad's games that I would play. And my dad had an Atari. And I used to, the first game I can remember like picking up and that feeling of like wanting to revisit and like go back and just keep playing it over and over and over again was Dig Dug on the Atari, actually.
Nice.
I fucking love Dig Dug. It's just like the dig, 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 dig. Like I loved it so much. And he also had Pong on the Atari.
Sure.
So even though like I was born into and kind of like my first independent gaming experience was actually on CD-ROM, was like my main gaming experience. But console wise would have been GameCube. But did any of you guys play? Did y'all play like CD-ROM games a lot, like on your computers?
Oh yeah.
Because that was
Yeah.
like my primary like childhood experience was playing like games on CDs. Specifically, like when we're thinking, I kind of did the same thing as Jake, where I did it in chronological order. And this game actually came up last week on our winter game episode, but Putt Putt Saves the Zoo,
Oh
which
yeah.
actually, I think there's been like several iterations of it. Like you can actually play it on your Switch 2 right now. I don't know if you knew that, Patrick, but you
I
can play
did.
it
I have
on your
it
Switch.
wish
Yeah.
listed because there's a collection of the Pajama Sam, Putt Putt, and the other one that I forget that I always forget. There's
The fish one?
Yeah. Whatever the fish
Freddy?
Because
is.
Freddy the Fish, yeah.
Freddy the
Hunter,
Fish,
actually,
yep.
my husband, I got some submissions from him, and that was one of his that he
Hell
submitted.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so the first game, like I remember playing, and memory wise, I mean, this game came out originally, I looked it up, in 1995. I was not born yet. I was born in 1987, but I remember playing this when I was really young, like 4 or 5 on the computer. And I would play it on like me and my friend. Would you guys like set up 2 computer chairs at the computer and like play with your friends like on
Oh,
the same
yeah.
computer? That
100%.
memory to me, like I can remember the feeling of like passing them like controller, not the controller, but like the mouse back and forth between me and my brother, like me and my friends. And like just taking turns. If you got
Yeah.
really frustrated at like one part, you would have them take it. But Putt Putt Saves the Zoo like is just so wholesome. Like I just remember playing with my brother, and it was kind of really cool because like, and I know there's several Putt Putt games, but this is the one that like stands out to me. And at the time, it's fascinating because you have like a dashboard, like you're in the car, and you have like the items at the bottom of the car, like you can see like the things you collect on the way, along the way. There were parts of it that was really hard, but I like have vivid memories of like how this game like made me feel. But I was trying to think like games that scared me because Jake mentioned that, and if I had to think like moving into this era of gaming, like the CD-ROM gaming, did either of you play the Spider-Man game, the 2001 Spider-Man game on on PC. It was like it had the
Was
main
it
like
based on the movie?
Yes. No, because the
I-
movie came out I think in like 2003, I think, or maybe
the
not.
first,
I think 2002 for Spider-Man 2, I want to say. Well,
Okay,
it's got to be
maybe
before.
2001
Maybe, hold on.
Spider-Man PC game. Me and my brother played this. Mr. Truman said, "Okay."
oh yeah, no. So this one was not based on the movie. This one was right before the movie.
Yes.
And
this
I
is
did
before
play
the
this
movie.
game,
Correct.
but I played this on not PC. I played this on, what would that have been? N64?
Yeah,
2001.
yeah,
Maybe.
it has to be.
Yeah, this game was really hard, and I remember being scared of a specific cutscene, and I can't remember the exact cutscene, but I believe it was with the Rhino, and like the Rhino guy. I think
Yes.
And I remember it scaring me really bad. And this came out in 2001, so I was like 5 or 4.
Oh man, I forgot about this. I played
This
this
game was
so
so fun.
much.
Yeah, I loved this game. And so that was like my primary form of game. And I remember like oh god, what's her name? Catwoman? Is it Cat?
Black Cat.
Catwoman's
Black
fine.
Cat. Yeah. I remember she looked kind of suggestive in this game, so my
Oh, yeah,
parents
she
were like
did.
weary on me playing it or not. But yeah, this game was so fun. I loved
Yeah.
that game. Any other like computer games you guys remember playing?
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
if that
I
was
mean-
your like primary
God.
era.
I mean, Putt Putt reminded me, I pulled up some B-roll, and that was published by Humongous Entertainment, which published all the Backyard Sports games, which I've talked about
Yeah,
on the
you
podcast
have,
before.
yeah.
But
But
that,
still.
oh my God, the chokehold that the Backyard Sports games had on me as a kid. And then all of the, seemingly, the whole Humongous Entertainment Rolodex of video games, because I would play, so much Pajama Sam, Putt Putt, all, like, we had... Because I was one of 5 kids, and so
Yeah.
there was all sorts of things trying to vie for our attention, or like,
Yeah.
or rather, actually the reverse. We were all trying to like vie for things, and so
Yeah.
we would have like a console upstairs, maybe someone would be like on the computer in the basement, etc., that kind of thing. And so I would play, so much on the PC and like Flash games too.
Yeah.
Like, do either of you ever do you know Yobi's Basic Spelling Tricks? Does that ring any bell
No.
for either of you? It was this
No.
Flash game. It might have been a CD-ROM actually, but it was this like bald monk that you would go to these levels
Think?
and he would get you to like spell a word. And the letters of the word would be like all around the level, and around the level would be all sorts of like obstacles and tricks that you have to overcome and things.
No.
So you'd go there and he'd give you the word. It'd be like cloud. And then he'd put it in a sentence, and then you'd have to be like kind of spell out cloud. And if you get the letters wrong, then you lose the level and you have to do the level over again. So he was also like learning how to spell.
I mean, we could have a whole podcast on learning games,
Oh my God,
honestly.
dude. Oh, yeah, we could.
Jumpstart? Do you guys play Jumpstart? Any of those?
Jumpstart doesn't ring a bell off the top.
I think
No.
that's a little younger for
Okay.
for Patrick and I, but for like educational stuff, do you guys know Zoom Beanies?
No.
Beanies.
I don't.
Zoom Beanies, they're like these little, it's almost like a game that's like Lemmings or like Worms kind of. It's like a 2D game where you're like giving commands to these little creatures. And I think it's
No.
like a early like learning thing, is you little blue fuckers. I played a
Yeah.
lot of Zoom Beanies when I was a
Zumbini's
kid.
Make Me a Pizza is what this YouTube video is called.
That
Interesting.
sounds
No, I
about
don't-
that's Zoom
I
Beanies.
don't
That's Zoom
remember
Beanies
this.
for sure. And it was like point and click. It's really fucking old shit. Damn, I was definitely making fucking pizzas for this little badger thing. No doubt.
That's so funny. I love that. Not the video game.
I love that. I love that we ended up Patrick and I led with NES memories, and then we're like, Kayla, what was it, GameCube for you? And you're like, Atari. And we're like,
Yeah, I know you guys assumed. Yeah. No, I will get to GameCube because I feel like Atari only because it was my dad's like console that he had. Like I definitely like ended up when I came into my own gaming era, we kind of went from like playing my dad's things to like moving to PC. One game I really wanted to mention because I feel like you guys might remember it, and this was still kind of like me playing my dad's game era, but it was on the PC. and it had the wheel that you could attach to the PC, and it had foot pedals.
Yeah.
And this was Beach King Stunt Racer. What you guys know about Beach King Stunt Racer?
I don't know Beach King Stunt Racer, at least
in
by name, but I remember there being PC games with the wheel and the pedal.
Yeah.
Because we never had really like, our PC that we had was not anywhere near a gaming PC. It was just like a gateway family computer. And
well, that's how ours was too, but we like modded it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you should bring up the video when you have a chance, the one that I sent you. Because I feel like that really shows this
for sure.
like era of gaming for me. Sirius said Venus Vacation Racer. It was one of those like my parents probably shouldn't have let me play it because it's definitely like maybe out of the age range. It came out in 2003, but it was very good.
I'm so in on this. I've never heard of it. I've never played it. I am looking at it and it's insane.
That's the computer you can see on the screen that I was playing, and I'm age 5 in that video. But that's the computer, infamously. Do you see the little like head thing I did? The little speakers
Jake.
on the side.
Oh, for sure. What do we think this game might be, Jake?
I don't know. I would love to find out.
Hit play. Let me see it in motion. I'm seeing it zoomed in now. I'm on a little bit of a delay. Almost looks like Snorlax is laying there, but it's a computer game at that time. There's no way to do that.
I don't think I was. Yeah.
It looks like an adventure game, like a point and click type.
The way that character moves across the screen in the front is really interesting. I wonder.
It kind of looks like a Pajama Sam type. Like it's not Pajama Sam. I don't think.
Yeah, is it Putt-Putt? I don't think so.
No.
But
I don't think
but
so
it's like
either.
it's not. It's a game where you pointed. That character is not running there by holding right on like a button or something like that. Like you pointed to the right of the screen, clicked it, and that thing just like auto ran over. Internet sleuths, please help us.
Please help us. I don't know, but you know what else I will say as far as continuing Flash games, but the Beach King game I think is a very Jake game. Jake, you should try to find that game and play it.
I absolutely will.
You did like tricks on your thing, and you had an actual wheel and pedals, but. Did you guys big into the PBS Kids? RIP PBS. Gone too soon.
Gone too soon.
There was a bunch of like Flash games on that website. Some like Arnold, the little guy, Franklin, the whole like PBS era of games. Like I really loved those. Oh, you've got the Beach King B-roll. Yeah. Yes, very good.
Oh, there's the baddie.
Yep.
God damn!
Rocket Knight and Felix the Cat. I don't think so. Yeah, look at that. Saint Tropez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. Jake, you need to find this. This is a you game.
Yeah. This is like I want to play this right now. Good podcast, everybody.
But last one for me in this era, and I think Jake knows this one, but this is Rugrats Go Wild on the PC.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's go. 2003. This game was crazy. Like it's hard. Have you replayed it recently? You probably can't even find this anymore.
No, I haven't replayed it.
But I can remember same deal. Like you have a crew of like you've got what's his name? I forget his name. Tommy
Pickles?
Tommy, Chucky,
Phil. What you know about
Will?
Tommy Pickles, brother?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this game was hard. It was tough. You had to like fight these little monkeys and you're lost and you fight this like gigantic monkey at the end of this. And I remember this was a little bit more advanced. I was like, okay, I'm like getting somewhere with my gaming. But I think that it would be really fun to replay if we could find it and replay it. But me and my brother would pass the keyboard and
this shit looks like fucking Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. French Dip said, "Welcome in, French Dip. Take me there." Dumpster Boy said, "Jesus Christ, you guys are still going." We just started. My God.
I want to go there.
And then we'd be remiss to not
Cousin
mention
Skeeter or something. What's that from?
That's from the Rugrats soundtrack.
Yeah,
the movie
like
soundtrack.
Yeah, you're right.
Maya, maybe, I think.
Oh, love Maya. One of the 4 from the Moulin Rouge song.
That's true.
Did you guys play any of the Barbie games?
Oh yeah. Okay. So no. Let's lock in.
Yes.
So I talked a little bit about my NES time, but really, I think the first console that I like really played was the Super Nintendo. I feel like with the NES, while I played a lot of NES as a kid, it was just like, oh, I'm at Nana's. What else am I gonna do? I'll just play NES baseball, or I'll play Dr. Mario, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I mostly just watch Nana play Dr. Mario on hard because she was a fucking gamer.
My love.
But with SNES, there was like Sunset Riders. Jake, did you ever play Sunset Riders?
No, but I'm familiar with that game.
What a
An
game.
arcade game, I think.
Well,
First,
so it
right?
was also an arcade game. Yeah, it was an arcade game first, and they brought it to SNES, like a side-scrolling, like beat 'em up, but with guns. He
It's like a
plays like one of
Western
four
kinda.
cowboys. Yeah. But Barbie Supermodel, which I've yelled
Yeah.
about on Spotlight Games before.
Mm.
Barbie Supermodel, I played so much Barbie Supermodel on the Super Nintendo. Especially like, did either of you play Supermodel specifically? Do you remember?
No. Mm-mm.
No.
So
have
that
you two
one-
adults played fucking the Roblox game, the Dress to Impress?
No,
I'm not, but I want to. That would be a
That's
good
a stream.
stream. Yeah.
that's a
Mhm.
stream for sure. But
Yeah.
Barbie Supermodel, it would be like various levels, and each level, it'd be Barbie in her different like outfits and things, but there would be like a snow level, so you're like going through the snow with her like puffy jacket, and or you're on the beach and you're in your rollerblades, and it would just be these like avoid obstacles type thing, but then there would be these little mini games as you go through, like either dressing her up or like getting her in the right outfit for the magazine cover, or this one you're like a gym doing like floor routine. I don't know, but I played this game so fucking much as a kid.
That-
Yeah, this looks sick.
This one missed me, but you know what didn't miss me was Barbie Pet Rescue. What you guys know about Barbie Pet
Ooh.
Rescue?
I know it exists, but I didn't play it.
It was on the. So I
Okay.
played it on PC, but it also was on Game Boy Color. But I played it on PC, and I've always been like a big, especially at this age, I was big into animals and horses specifically. Which Barbie Horse Adventure is its own conversation we can have in a second if we want. But look how good this game looks. Okay, first of all,
Oh, for sure.
circa 2000, this game looks great. But basically, you literally are working at a pet rescue, and when you go inside, there's like all these different rooms, and it's like a puzzle, like point and click game where you can, and also you have people like dropping off like or adopting pets and like rescuing pets. You go on little excursions. I loved this game. This was probably my favorite Barbie game. Very closely followed by Barbie Horse Adventures, Mystery Ride specifically. And I can remember, guys, this is embarrassing, but I can remember the theme song, Barbie Horse Adventure, Mystery Ride, loading. 1, 2, 3. And it had like
Loading?
this specific like
Loading was
loading.
in the song.
You guys know that those games took like 20 minutes to
Forever.
like load
Yeah.
up, especially on the computer if you're playing it on the computer. But yeah, I can remember. So that kind of memory is really near and dear to my heart because growing up, I lived next to my grandparents, and so when our computer at some point died, and we had at that point we did have a GameCube, but I still really loved playing like my computer games. But my grandma had a computer, and so I was one of those kids. I was very fond of my things that I had. I was very like didn't want to give them up. So I had this like bejeweled CD case that I had all of my like CDs in, and I would tote it. I would walk over to my grandma's house with my little bejeweled CD case, and I would play computers on her computer. But I wouldn't leave them at her house. I had to take them back with me, even though it was like next door, because I had to like have them. But yeah, Barbie Horse Adventure, and then Barbie Mystery Detective. Did you guys ever play any of the detective ones?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So my Barbie era, first of all, just a little aside about the Barbie games, I brought up the fucking, you guys know how on Wikipedia, if you like search like Legend of Zelda games, it'll show you like a big list in the center of like every single thing, but on the right there's always like the timeline view where it'll have you like list off like all the mainline ones. This fucking timeline is the most dense timeline I have ever seen for Barbie games. There are so many entries. It's like at least 100. Barbie Mystery, it looks like 1998 there were a pair of Barbie games. So I played Barbie Riding Club, which was the first Barbie is on a horse type of game.
I didn't play that one. Yeah,
it's old. It's not very good. But the other one is the first Detective Barbie. It's Detective Barbie in the Mystery of the Carnival Caper.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I found that.
That's the one.
I found that shit right here.
That's the one. That's the one, Jake.
Oh my fucking God.
Do you remember? Look at that guy, first of all.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you would boot up this game, it would ask you for your name and it would say your name?
It would say your fucking name.
Yeah,
yes.
throughout the thing. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It said it wouldn't say Kayla, it would say Kayla. It's exactly how it said it. Yep. I'm still haunted to this day.
Kayla is so funny.
Okay. I remember it decently. We need to set up, because my sister was on my stream just like a week ago, and
I remember.
She adores this Detective Barbie game, the mystery one in particular. Kayla, you and her have to play it on Dido.
Ooh.
I feel like that would go fucking crazy, because she's also
crazy.
like freakishly good with like her memory. Like, I can't remember fucking anything. I got broad strokes of ideas of things that happened in my life, but she will remember. Like, she's like, I liked when you went down the slide and when you found the guy behind the cupboard. I'm like, I don't know what
the love boat. There was a love boat scene where you were in like this kissing love boat thing. Yeah. This game
the detective games of this time were so good. Like, obviously, I'm sure we all played a shit ton of Carmen Sandiego, and
yes, and
there were so many. Yeah, and I feel like there were even like licensed games. Like, I remember a Beauty and the Beast CD-ROM game that would have
I
like
didn't play that one.
investigative stuff in it, or like that kind of thing where like you're clicking around, and whether you're like trying to match things or whatever. It was such a moment in the late 90s, early 2000s of the CD-ROM video game. And it's so funny when I was thinking through this, I never once thought about CD-ROMs, but that really is probably some of my biggest childhood memories of video games. Is the CD-ROM
It's
era.
a good call. I don't have any of that shit written down, and it's all just come back to me since Kayla mentioned it. I got a crazy CD-ROM though for you. I believe this was MS-DOS that booted this. I'm not positive, but I think it was DOS. Either way, it was the PC version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Or it could have just been Mortal Kombat 3. However, here's why I remember it so vividly. I didn't own this game. My buddy owned it, and we played it on his parents' computer. But to play two-player against each other, you each had to use a different end of the keyboard with like your little fucking claw fingers, using like one person was on the arrows and the numpad, and the other person was like WASDing and had some like, you know, cluster of like J, H, and G on the fucking left side of the keyboard. So we were huddled up in our shit, fucking mashing on the same keyboard, fighting each other in Mortal Kombat on the PC. And Jesus, it must have been 1998 or 1996. I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy. I forgot about that. I think there were several games I played that kind of had that mechanic, but it was so funny because you had to be like,
not intuitive at all.
Yeah.
Especially in games where like, I remember this being the case for like the backyard sports games where it'd be like one person gets the mouse and then the other person gets the keyboard. I was like, well, you're fucked if you don't have the mouse because it's so much more intuitive with the mouse, obviously. But I forgot about like the fighting games and that kind of thing where like you're splitting the keyboard in half. Did either of you have one of the keyboards that was like split in half where it was one piece, but it was like the right chunk and then the left chunk?
Yeah, they were like on like an axis almost. There was just like a little space though. Good.
No, but mine was like convex. It was like big and like went like out. It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I had some wavy space bars in my day. You know, they weren't just a straight line. They were fucking getting a little wild over there. I don't know. I don't want to pull us out of this too far, but I also am now remembering for PC the dawn of like the internet and like shareware and downloadable games a little bit. Any Snood enjoyers?
No.
You guys know what
I don't think I know
Snood?
I don't think so.
Snood was a massive in my circle of friends. Like anybody who was anybody was getting out of like fucking 5th grade and then going home, hopping on AOL Instant Messenger and then booting up fucking Snood while they like perfected their away messages and like DM'd. It was insane. It's basically just like Puyo Puyo or whatever. Like it's just a fucking knockoff of like a different game where you're just trying to match like shapes, I think. But it's rad as fuck.
Chat loves Snood. Mr.
I
Trehorn
did
and
play
High Score
Snood.
Weekly.
I did play Snood. I just didn't know it by name. I definitely played a shit ton of Snood.
That's so good.
Yeah. This
Super
unlocked
Star
a memory
also
for
said,
me.
holy shit.
Yeah.
I played a bunch of Snood.
God.
And like that was, and like the vibe was absolutely just like, man, you can't overstate how fucking novel it was as like a kid my age to just be on the computer. Like now you guys are like watching shit and YouTube and stuff like that, but we were like what was our activity? The activity was playing a free demo of a game for 8 hours while messaging your friends.
Correct.
Like we're
Yeah.
just DMing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine now you've got Discord, you've got like you can stream to your friends while you play. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy to think about.
And,
And like
like-
all in our lifetime, which is kind of wild to think about. Like that it's
Sure.
not like how far advanced we've come and like just gaming in general and like gaming with your friends is wild.
Another memory
Yes.
fucking unlocked. High Score Weekly in the chat. Early Yahoo games online like Scrabble. I played so much fucking Pictionary on
Yeah.
Yahoo games and poker. I played a lot of poker when I was too
Yeah.
young
Yep.
to be
I played
playing poker. But it was all
solitaire.
fake money.
Yeah.
Fuck. I totally
Yeah.
forgot about that. And then there's like the other. Well, actually, let's wait to get into Flash games because I mean, there's mini
Yeah.
clip. There's all sorts of things. Dumpster Boy in the chat. Jake, you dipped your toe into demos. How about demo discs?
Oh man, dude, I am such a little fucking freak for a demo disc. I loved these things. I talked about them very recently and how much I loved specifically the PlayStation 2 Jam Pack demo discs, where they were the ones that were like sold at a store for $5 or $6. They had their own like DVD case and artwork and it had the list of the games. And you went and you sought those things out because they were such a cheap way to spend a bunch of time. And like, I mean, there's games for PS2 that I didn't spend as much time in than I did just like booting up different demos on that demo disc or replaying this section or that section. But yeah, I feel like I sourced my demo discs from 4 places primarily in my life. And those places were the official PlayStation magazine, the official Xbox magazine, the actual physical ones that I bought from stores, and then easy 4th place, the fucking Hut, baby.
Sure, Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And there was also, do you remember? I don't know that it was demo discs, but just games in like cereal boxes. Like that was a thing every now and then of like a full fucking CD-ROM in your Corn Pops or whatever the fuck. I don't remember which games were in there, but I remember getting discs from cereal for sure. Man.
Another really quick cereal niche thing is, did either of you play Millsberry online? Do you guys know what Millsberry is?
Let's see.
So Millsberry was like this online kind of think like Sims like in a way. Like also there could be a whole video progression around Sim like pipeline.
Yeah,
and for me,
sure.
where I kind of became interested in like life immersive Sims was stuff like this, where there were like online like little games. Millsberry had like this whole like advertisement on the back of like a cereal box, and you can technically, I believe you could visit your friends, but like the whole thing with like the back of the box is you could get codes to get like Flare. You could like download Flare, different outfits, different like, yeah, it's super neat. It's so, Sierra Shard does remember it, but not a lot of people remember this at all. But yeah, that I really enjoyed.
This makes me think of Neopets, which is like a whole other thing.
Oh yeah. Webkins.
We could do a Neopets podcast.
A horse
we could do a whole
game
fucking,
that I played. Yeah.
I could talk about Chombi for 3 hours straight.
Chombi's a fucking iconic drop.
Yeah.
I would love to see if we could recover our Neopets accounts. It's probably impossible. I don't even know what I was called back then.
I don't think it's impossible. Because I think I recovered mine at some point in the last like 5 or 6 years.
Oh my God.
Also, during the pandemic,
a question.
Really quick, during the pandemic, Rose went back into Neopets and got so fucking addicted. And basically maxed out Neopets, like beat Neopets. She was so fucking into Neopets in like peak 2020. It was very funny.
Why isn't there like a really nice modern iteration of Neopets? Like I feel like there should be a creature collector that's on modern consoles of Neopets. They should be making money hand over fist on our nostalgia right now, and they're not.
When I
That's
tell
a great
you,
question.
I'm trying to find something. I'm chasing the high that this kind of game gave me back then, and I've been trying to find it for forever. Like the same vibe is like the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure 2, which is also like on my list. But like some sort of like collector, like I love that shit, and so I've been chasing it for many years.
Yeah.
I haven't quite found it yet, but I love those games. I had a whole obsession with anything that was like creature collector, like sim thing. But I think that's all I had on CD-ROM games, but I could go hours and hours. Like I also played, I won't go too long on this, but I mentioned this on the controller episode really quick, the like Hasbro plug-in games. That you plugged into the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were specifically when I was looking into this, I was trying to remember what the name of the specific one was, and it's called Dream Life. Did you guys ever see these? Dream Life. Look up like Hasbro Dream Life plugin. This was probably, oh gosh, what year was this? 2005. And it was basically like a life sim. You could go to school, you could go to the mall, you could go to your friend's house. It was one of those that had like, it was the TV like plug-in.
Yeah, that's right.
And it had a remote
Sick.
control that was like stored in the plugin that you had to like take out. And some of it was like, could be voice activated, but yeah, it was super like, it kind of
Yeah.
like, look at this guy playing it. This
Look at this guy.
You could go to school, you could go to bed, you could hang out with your friends, like you could study, like all these really fun things. Like I just loved a life sim game, and I still do to this day.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any games, specifically for me, a lot of these ended up being on CD-ROM, but did you have any games that you like owned or gained access to that you could never figure out? Like I have like there's like a Mech Warrior game that I had for PC for the longest time. Like I feel like it must have been a gift from like a parent's friend. Like he likes video games, and they're like, this is a video game, and it installed it, and I tried to fucking get around that game, and I couldn't, and it just lived in my head rent free for so fucking long. Absolutely insane.
I don't think
it
I
was
have
that,
anything
and then
like that. That jumps to mind.
my other one is I wanted to get into EverQuest so bad, and I did
What
not.
is that?
I could not comprehend what the fuck I was doing. EverQuest was like the biggest MMO in the world before World of Warcraft, basically, and like it's
Gotcha.
still, I think, pretty fruitful. I think EverQuest 1 and 2 are still up today and do okay. But I remember just like buying EverQuest and being like, I'm gonna get into this and become an MMO gamer, and yeah, it didn't work.
No,
Same.
my equivalent of that was like Wizard 101. Do you guys know Wizard 101?
Know
I did
it, but yeah, beyond my time, yeah.
I played that one some. That's like probably the closest I got. I've never been a big MMO fan, personally. It's never been.
You know, actually, Jake, the one that comes to mind when I think a little bit more about like a game that I couldn't fucking figure out is Ocarina of Time. I didn't really play Ocarina until college. Like growing up with the N64 that we had, for some reason we never had a Zelda game on the N64. My cousins had Zelda, and I remember thinking like, oh, that seems pretty cool, but it also seems complicated. But for some reason, it was just like, also like Smash Brothers. We never had a Smash Brothers somehow. We had like 60 games, probably not 60, but we had a lot of games. We had like a briefcase full of them, and we didn't have some of the biggest games on the N64. But I remember trying it one time and like I think renting it and being like, what the fuck am I supposed to do in this game? Like how does everybody love Zelda when I don't even understand what I'm even supposed to be doing? So yeah, I think the first time I played through Ocarina of Time, I was like 21 and I emulated it on my MacBook in college. And I had to do the entire game still as a 21-year-old with a walkthrough because I was like, this game is so obtuse at times. It's so great.
Okay.
But
so I can't believe this, but I have written down here as a note, Zelda OOT multi-week playthrough, because this is a very big early memory for me, because the game came out in, I think it was 1998, I want to say, a couple of years after the 64 dropped. And I remember very specifically the catalyst for this playthrough and what happened, because a lot of my first couple weeks with Zelda was, I am infatuated with this world. I have spent probably literally hundreds of hours, and I'm still young Link, just trying to figure out where to go or who the fuck to talk to. I have no fucking idea what's happening. I am stumbling into dungeons and getting stumped by puzzles. I'm having a generally unbelievably fun time making almost no progress. And I remember my childhood best friend and I were both in the same spot, because it was somewhere around either we finished Jabu Jabu. I don't remember what it was that made this like the stopping point for us, but there's some kind of difficulty spike in Zelda Ocarina of Time where somewhere after Jabu Jabu and unlocking, switching between adult and child Link, things got very confusing for both me and my homie. So we decided that we were going to fucking hang out and have a sleepover, 2-night sleepover, to fucking smash Zelda together. And we bought the strategy guide. We fucking made it happen. We sat there, and I just remember very vividly starting off with the Forest Temple because I was like, damn, this shit's scary as fuck. I'm so glad I'm chilling with the homie right now because the vibes in the Forest Temple are not good. They're fucking very sinister.
For sure.
They're very sinister. The music is terrifying. It's like barely even music. It's like tones meant to instill fear. We were in the fucking mix, but we sat there over the course of like 2 or 3 weekends in a row, and we absolutely beat the shit out of that game, and it was so fucking good. So good once we buckled down.
Yeah. I had a similar situation like that. So I've talked about it on some podcasts before. I don't remember if it was Spotlight or Dido, not ever having a PlayStation until I was in college when I got a PS3. And so my neighbor was this old couple, and so their grandkid would come every like month or 6 weeks or whatever. And so whenever Brandon was in town, I'd get to play PlayStation, specifically PS2. And like sometimes we would dabble with a PS1 game. Like I think I've told this story before. We tried playing Brave Fencer Musashi, and he was a year older than me. So I tried to do the thing of like to try to act cool and be like, oh yeah, no, I've played Musashi before. And then he kept being like, oh, well, like, what do I do here? And I just kept being like, oh man, I don't remember what we do here. And finally he realized I'm just fucking lying. But that's how like the first time I was made aware of Final Fantasy in general. Final Fantasy 9 I think was the first one, and then 10 we played a lot of Final Fantasy 10 there, and then Kessen, that was my first Muso style game.
That was a cool drop.
Yeah, that was like the PS2. I had such a unique and like out of touch experience with the PS2 as a kid, since I didn't ever have one. We had this weird like almost holier than thou opinion of PlayStation. Like, well, Nintendo is just better than PlayStation. Why would I waste my time on a PlayStation? Meanwhile, the PlayStation catalog is unfucking believable, and I had no idea because I was just being a little shit. Yeah, a lot of PlayStation memories, specifically at Grandma and Bob's house, bring in a little snack tray while we're playing fucking Armored Core 2 on the PS2.
Fuck yeah.
Very good. Cayman in the chat, Dumpster Boy, brought up something that I'm curious if either of you, almost certainly not Kayla, but maybe Jake, the Fast and Furious Zip Zap cars. Did either of you, are either of you knowers of this? It was a little like RC
These
car.
are the fucking RC cars, brother.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Zip Zaps is a
Zip
fantastic
Zaps.
fucking name.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I lost my fucking mind with Zip Zaps.
Yeah.
I wanted them so badly. Did either of you have like an RC car moment in your childhood?
Hot Wheels for sure, yeah. My brother did, but
yeah.
Barely. I think by the time I really desired it, I was kind of like back onto like video games. I did have like a blue monster truck when I was a kid. That was a remote control thing that I fucked with. And then I remember, maybe, is this something, for some reason in my head, Zip Zaps were like prohibitively expensive. I remember having trouble getting my hands on Zip Zaps as a kid.
I was
only
too
had
young
one.
to understand.
I remember
money.
charging it, and it's like, because I remember Zip Zaps had cool fucking packaging. Like there was like a bunch of shit in the bottom, but at the top it was like a fucking like you could display your car in the Zip Zap package.
That was the one I always wanted. Rome's purple car from Too Fast Too Furious. I thought that was the coolest one. But I think we had
one of the greatest.
Brian's, the silver and white, whatever that car is. We had
Skyline.
The Skyline, and then I think we maybe had the yellow one too. I don't think we ever got the purple one, but I always wanted the purple one. But High School Weekly reminded me, Micro Machines. Did you guys have Micro Machines?
No.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, we had so many Micro Machines.
Kayla, did you have Polly Pockets?
I did, yeah. I did.
Okay, so I think that those are like, I'm not positive about this, lore, but in my head, those are like companion pieces. I'm pretty sure the same manufacturer was making like, here's little cars for boys and little dolls for girls, and they're the same idea. Like they're like a little clamshell fucking diorama that you can play with your little figures in. Based.
Yeah, that I didn't really do. While we're talking about racing, I didn't do any of those. But you know what I did do is Nicktoons Racing. You guys know about Nicktoons Racing?
Oh yeah,
the 2001. I think it was the original PlayStation. I loved that one. And then I think that's the only really I've never been super into racing games. But that one was really fun, and I remember playing that one. And then my big thing, I was into, this is not just we're talking nostalgia, not really video game related, but do you guys do the monster trucks at all? The Monster
Oh,
Jam,
sure.
like little
Oh,
monster
yeah,
trucks.
for sure.
I love
For
those.
sure.
Somebody else
Um,
had one in the chat earlier. Control 29 said Phantom Menace for the PS1
Oh,
was
yeah.
one that he never knew what to
fucking,
do and still doesn't.
oh my God. There's a lot of Star Wars games that were like, ooh, I'm in over my head here. Like, I remember there was a CD-ROM game, like it was probably X-Wing versus Starfighter, versus TIE Fighter or something like that, or in that series that I could not figure out how to fucking fly in. And then there's a whole bunch of really good, like, eventually we get to some really dope high-end stuff that I fuck with.
Yeah.
Where we have, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry, I was on another tangent.
Like the tie-in games, Phantom Menace one on PS1 is really dope, and I remember very specifically an Xbox memory with the 2005 Revenge of the Sith game.
Yes.
Came out like a month before the fucking movie did,
Yep.
but followed the plot of the movie exactly and had footage from the movie. And it's one of the coolest things ever, because if you were a fucking gamer, you kind of had an idea of what you were getting into, and it was so cool. I mean, that just like follows the movie pretty much beat for beat. You end up on Mustafar having the big fucking showdown. It's sick.
I played that game so much. I fucking love that game. Did that have a co-op mode, Jake?
It might have. I think I only played a single player, but that sounds familiar to
High
me.
Score Weekly, you got Revenge of the Sith on disc anywhere? Can we play that in like 2 weeks? Can we just play the Obi-Wan Anakin fight at the end? Because that I remember. I think you could play at least the Anakin Obi-Wan fight at the end. Before we go off of racing games, we can probably get it though. Okay, let's figure that out. Before we don't have to actually, but we should.
It is co-op too.
Road Rash, Jake. Did you play Road Rash?
You already know. I played Road Rash, and I played a series called, I always associate these together, the 2 Extreme and 3 Extreme. Do you know these? They are like not off-road, but like inline skating games where you go downhill. But the common thread is that you can fucking punch your opponents while you're racing. Blah, with the
I
left
don't think
or
I
the right.
played 2 or 3 Extreme. I wonder if that was maybe like a PlayStation specific
It is
game?
a PS1. Yeah, you're right.
That's
you're
why
right.
I didn't
just
play
explained that.
But Sega we had a bit of a Sega moment. What y'all know about Boogerman, which I mentioned at the beginning of the episode? Any Boogerman
I know
knowers?
Boogerman. I've never touched Boogerman. Tell me about him.
Boogerman, I remember. So similar to my experience with PS2 much later in life, where I borrowed like a PS2 a little bit in high school, but then it wasn't until college that I got my PS3 and then played a lot of PS2 games because I got the chunky PS3. When I was in, I think either middle or high school, I found our Sega Genesis in the basement, and there was this old video store down the road from me. It was like an independent video store. I don't remember what it was called, but they would rent out VHSs and like Sega and Super Nintendo games. So I went on this like 6-month just like tear of old Sega games. Boogerman, Earthworm Jim, Vector Man, all the Sonic games, obviously. I mean, I played Sonic back in the day too, but I just like went through so many old Sega games that I was like, what? How do these games even exist? Like Boogerman, for example, where it's just this like 2D platformer, and you just like run around this world, and it's like you have health, which is like your string of booger. Every time you get hit, you like start to lose more of your booger. But it's just like, for whatever reason, it's just set with like a booger aesthetic. But it's just like a classic 2D platformer.
They don't make games like this anymore, y'all.
They really don't.
In your Sega experience when you were on Genesis, did you have Sonic and Knuckles?
Oh yeah.
So one of the earliest memories that I have that's like very vivid is like, I remember being mind fucked by the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge. Because Kayla, are you familiar with the game? Or do you know Ball here? Okay, so the Sonic, picture in your head a Sega Genesis cartridge, right? It's just like a big fucking black box and you stick it in, right?
Yeah.
At the fucking top of the Sega Genesis cartridge for Sonic and Knuckles was a flap that you opened. And then on that flap was another cartridge port where you would stick another Sega Genesis cartridge into that cartridge, and it would feed that game through the Sonic and Knuckles game and allow you to play a varied version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or 3 where you could now play as Knuckles in those games.
It was
And
so
that
cool.
technology fucked me up, man. I was like, this is insane. And I remember being one of the things that lives in my fucking head rent free about this game is I remember being like, I have to try which games can I put Knuckles in. Like in my head, I was I was like, I gotta put Knuckles in Mortal Kombat. I gotta put Knuckles in Street Fighter. And there's this like really fucking iconic screen of like whenever you put a game on top of it that doesn't have compatibility, he'd be like, like
That's
I remember
right.
a finger wag. I remember that pesky little finger, dude.
I remember
That's
that
so
pesky
cool.
little finger too. Oh my god, I forgot about
Physical
that.
media is too, you know, before we get off Sega, this is totally unrelated, but also is still Sega. I wasn't a huge Sega kid. I did play, like I mentioned, the Sonic Adventure 2 era was like when I entered my GameCube phase is where I really got into that specifically, but I didn't really expand my Sega horizons too much, except, do you guys remember the little Happy Meal Sega toys in your Happy Meal?
With the 2 buttons?
Yes. Do you remember those?
Oh my god. Yes.
They had a Sonic one, they had a Tails one, they had a Shadow one. And they were little like mini games from the early 2000s. Yeah.
It's so funny.
I just
Kayla,
unlocked
you're not going to believe this because I remembered this fucking curse recently. I went to Burger King because Burger King's having like a Sonic fucking theme like a month ago. And I was like, oh, nice. They have like Sonic, they got Tails, they got Knuckles, they got Shadow, they got Amy Rose. I'm like, I want all of these, except I hope I don't get my least favorite one. And I remember now that it happened to me twice because not only did I get fucking Tails this time around, which is the worst one to have standalone. Like if you have to have just one, you just want to have Sonic, or Knuckles is cool, or Shadow's cool, Amy's even cooler than Tails. It happened to me with that fucking game too. The only one that I had was the Tails game. Nobody wants to play the Tails game. I want Sonic. He's blue. He's cool.
Did you have any more of those though, like the bigger ones? Like we had a couple X-Men ones where it was like just the game was the thing and it was just the one game, and it was, I don't know, there must be a name for it where it's just like the black and white not even backlit screen. We had
it's like a
Spider-Man
it's like
one.
Game and Watch adjacent.
It's Game and Watch adjacent for sure. We had like 4 or 5 of those of different styles, mostly superhero versions. Tiger Electronics, High School Weekly says.
Oh, that sounds so right.
I wonder if we still have those anywhere. Man, I forgot about those.
Was that also like cool. You got it at McDonald's? The little like McDonald's.
These ones weren't McDonald's. These were like
these were like in a.
The McDonald's ones were like this big. These ones were like
really small,
like a full, like you would hold the whole fucking thing.
These things were in like clamshell packaging next to like the stacks of like Uno cards at Walmart or Target type of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's where I would see those things and get them. I definitely had some as well.
There's not really any like independent like handheld games like that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like you're pretty much a part of the big like
apps.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh wow, that's cool.
Very fucking sick.
I played so much of this and it was so bad, but I loved X-Men so much that I just wanted any video game version of X-Men that I could have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
seriously,
there was something to like having the physical thing that said like X-Men. It's like I got the X-Men console in my fucking hand.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's basically my extent of knowledge with Sega. Did you want to? Should I read some chat submissions from Discord?
Yeah, let's bring in some chats.
What you got?
Yeah, some of it we've already kind of touched on, but High Score Weekly, who's active in chat, mentioned that his first console for Christmas when he was 4 was the NES. My friend, this is funny. My parents had friends that had sons that were older than me, so they were helping him with Super Mario Brothers, which was hard for him at like age 5. So they recorded a tutorial on VHS that he could have to play to help him with his NES, and that's so freaking cute.
They would be YouTube superstars if the YouTube was around back then.
Correct.
Yeah. That's really good. Coal Mines mentioned Man After My Own Heart. My favorite gaming memories was playing on my GameCube with my sister and brother. We played Tonka Rescue Patrol so much, probably 100 hours in this bad boy, playing as different emergency vehicles. I did not play that one, but big in my GameCube era. Serious Shard said, earliest gaming memory, my mother playing Sonic. She was a Sonic sicko. I love that. Moms who play Sonic, for real. Heroic Headgear with some of my earliest gaming memories come from the original Battlefield 1942. and playing through LAN with my brother and dad, even though downloading a Star Wars mod that would eventually go to be the inspiration for the original Battlefront games.
Cool.
Yep.
Ooh, oh my God, Unlock. He said that and Rocket Power on the PS1. Did you guys play
Brother.
Rocket Power?
Is a
Rocket
banger.
Power was on something other than the PS1 because I played a Rocket Power game for sure.
Oh my God, that's so good.
The Battlefield
Jackal-
1942 is an absolute banger that I had apparently as a suppressed memory, but there was like an era for me where like the original Battlefield releases before they became like sequentially numbered the way that we know them today were like it was Battlefield 1942 and then it was like Battlefield Vietnam and then there was Battlefield 2 and there was like all kinds of like DLC or expansions and stuff. And in my first era of like getting my own computer, it was to play fucking Battlefield, dude. That's sick.
That's
I
awesome.
wonder, I was just thinking about that before we go back to the Discord submissions. We had a lot of those types of games where like a Medal of Honor or a Battlefield, but like I don't remember us buying them. Was there a market for it? Couldn't have been emulation. It must have just been like downloading it somehow back then.
For renting it? I mean,
Dude.
I just rented everything.
Well, on
Literally
PC, you
everything.
couldn't rent
head-
PC games.
That's true. Yeah,
In
that's
my
true.
head, I feel like there was like I think here's my guess on this is because in my head, I feel like I spontaneously obtained PC games as a kid.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was it was kind of the dawn of like the home PC as well as PC gaming, and as like the kid loves video games, and then they're like, you got a computer, right? And then I got to get a computer game. I think that's a lot of what was going on back in the day.
Yeah.
Is like random gifts that you got as a child were like, oh, the kid loves video games and you have a computer. I got them a computer game, and that's how I
Yeah.
ended up with like Battlefield. I'm pretty sure.
I remember
Yeah.
too, like because the PC games were just so much graphically more capable than consoles at the time. I remember like walking down the aisle at like Target or Walmart or whatever and picking up like Warcraft 3 or whatever and being like, how can a game
Brother.
look like this?
Oh,
And just like
Warcraft
wanting
3?
the PC to be able to eventually the PC that we had like could play them at their most basic settings. But I remember looking at those boxes and being like, all I want is to be able to play this game.
Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos chunky box is something that I saw on the shelf at like Best Buy, and I was like, I simply must have this. Look at this orc man. He's green. These graphics look insane. I need to fucking play this. It was the introduction, and this is something that I would love to ask you guys about. Maybe we finish the submissions and then go there. But Warcraft 3 was my introduction to the unmoderated internet, where when you load into Warcraft 3, you get battle.net general chat with a bunch of other fucking people that are also now have general chat for the first time, talking about whatever they wanted. And I was like, whoa, the world's crazy, dude.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Are you saying like maybe after we do chat submissions, we talk about like your first online gaming experience?
Oh, I mean,
my
that's
God.
something special for sure.
Yeah,
Dude.
for sure.
Really quick though, Jackal194, who was in the chat earlier, said was born in 1996, so closer to my era, and said the earliest gaming memory is playing Super Mario World with my cousins at my grandparents' house at maybe 3 years old. That blends with playing Kirby Superstar by myself with my dad. Also had a PlayStation 1, played a lot of Road Rash, which we mentioned earlier, Spyro, which we haven't talked about yet, Rugrats Game with the Scary Ass Ghost mini game. That's what I was talking about earlier. Crash Bandicoot, and eventually my cousin gave me his Metal Gear Solid VR missions disc. I don't think I know anything about that.
The VR
That'll
missions
change
disc,
your life.
it was like a demo disc adjacent, where it was just like the beginning, or like not the beginning, it was like a certain section of the game that you could play that was just on that disc.
That's very good. In high school regularly, I read one more for him, only selfishly because it kind of leads into something else I want to talk about. Important Game Boy Advance came out in March 2001 in Japan, but didn't come out in America until June. Highly anticipated launch. My grandma and her sister scheduled a mini reunion hangout in Hawaii, where I got a surprise from my great aunt and uncle for Paper Mario. No, not Paper Mario. Game Boy Advance, Super Mario Brothers
Mario and
2.
Luigi. Oh, Mario 2.
Advance. Yeah.
Nice.
Hardware wasn't region locked either, so when it finally came in the States, I could just use English games with it. So he had like the actual Japan version. Very cool. Game Boy Advance. Any knowers? Did you guys do Game Boy Advance?
I had an SP.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever had the purple like Advance, but I think SP played the games the same as Advance. Maybe not though. Maybe that was just Game Boy games.
Yeah, that's all the
I
same
think so.
generation. That's just the first iteration.
Got it.
My Game Boy Advance got a lot of use. But I want to make sure I don't miss any other chat ones. Big Freakin', last one. One of my earliest memories is me and my dad playing Mortal Kombat 2 on Genesis. He showed me Liu Kang's Dragon Fatality and told me not to let my mom know I saw it.
Amazing.
Black Myth Liu
That's
Kang.
so good. That's really funny.
Very good.
I really quick on Game Boy Advance, if you guys don't mind me talking about it, was the Lizzie. There was a Lizzie McGuire game that was Lizzie McGuire on the go. That shit was hard too. Very difficult. You had this whole like you were basically trying to escape this like mall. Also, shout out Rabbit128 for the sub.
Whoa, thanks, Rabbit. He said, "Oh, that's a nice message." He says, "Serious tone, y'all seriously are a bunch of amazing gamers and podcasters. I told a friend's kid, Willis, about the pod, and now he wants to learn more about games. That's so sweet."
A wholesome rabbit? Where'd you come from? Oh my god!
I'm sure there's a second part where he's like, "Willis is what I call my penis" or something like that.
Yeah, oh, he said Willis dick fit. Yeah, very good.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Rabbit, I hope you choke and die.
Right, classic. Absolutely clocked Rabbit, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I actually fell for it. I'm glad that you guys were here to clock it because I actually fell for it. Which
I gotta hit my Benjamin.
Why would I ever fall for anything fucking Rabbit says?
Oh,
God fucking damn
oh my god. Oh my god.
I know my Rabbit.
It wasn't me.
I got a question. So this is Game Boy adjacent that I wanna roll into. So I've got a couple things here. First, we have to talk about the great Game Boy Color meltdown of 2000 at some point to remind me to tell this story.
Okay.
But before we get there, here's like a really firm, like specific memory of mine is the first time that I remember being hyped up for the launch of a video game where I told my parents, I was like, it comes out on this day. It's a fucking Friday. We need to go to Toys R Us. I need to buy Pokemon Blue.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time the hype cycle got me. And I was thinking about it and I was doing some Googling. And I remember being excited because Pokemon came out like a good year and a half earlier when we were talking about like, getting things localized for the US. There was that turnaround for a very long time on Japanese games finally making their way over here. And in my brain, I was like, I'm going to learn everything that there is to know about Pokemon, so I am so ready to go on day one. And this is maybe hyper specific, but I had a Nintendo Power subscription from as far back as I can fucking remember. And there was a series that started before Pokemon came out in the US. They inserted that Pokemon, that Nintendo Power usually came as a magazine. Sometimes it had cardboard on the front of it, but usually it was just a loose magazine with your name and fucking address on it, right? But every once in a while, you'd get that bagged Nintendo Power that had something special inside of it.
Yeah.
Whether it was a poster or a fucking promo or something like that. And what came inside of, I believe, the August 1998 Nintendo Power magazine was the very first issue of Pokemon Power. And it's this blue issue of Pokemon Power. It's like a 20-page individual magazine stuffed inside your Nintendo Power. And it had like walkthrough for the first 20 minutes of game, profile of the fucking characters, like a little like start to your Pokedex, explanation of who Pikachu and Charmander and Bulbasaur and Squirtle are. Like I had my starter picked out. I knew which version I wanted. I knew that there were fucking exclusives and shit like that. The propaganda machine for Pokemon was alive and well far before Pokemon came out, and I knew I needed to be there for Pokemon day one. I was indoctrinated fast.
I don't think I had that kind of
really
an experience until much later. I think the first hype cycle that I fell into, weirdly enough, is Eternal Darkness on the GameCube. I remember, I don't know if it was a Game Informer. I don't know if it was Nintendo Power. Like, I don't know what it was, but I remember seeing the cover on a magazine at GameStop and thinking, like, I'm getting a little older now. And like, ooh, this looks like spooky and cool. And at this point, I don't think I had played Resident Evil yet. But I was like, whatever that is, because if I remember correctly, the promo image, because Eternal Darkness, have either of you played Eternal Darkness? Jake, you probably have.
I know Eternal Darkness from the Zeitgeist. I know it fucks with
there's a bunch of like time shit in Eternal Darkness, and I remember the cover, or at least the promo art, had like this modern girl, this modern woman, but then this like guy in like Roman type armor, like old like medieval type, some kind, and I was like, that's a weird, like, why would there be a girl in like Levi's and like a tank top, like cut off shirt, and with this guy with armor as if he's from like this year 800 BC or whatever. So that got me really hyped. And then I remember we got the game and it fucked me up so much because the game, it was one of these ones, Kayla, where it was like you're playing the game and then it'll like simulate that your game is crashed, and it'll do, or like it'll change the volume at times, and it'll like try to fuck with you in that kind of way. And that was the very first time I'd ever experienced something like that. Yeah, an Inscription like. Or what more people talk about these days is the first Metal Gear Solid game with
controller port, Psycho
Mantis, of like the game fucking with you. But well, actually that probably was before Eternal Darkness. Actually, I got that reversed. That would have been before.
Yeah.
98. But that was, I think, the first time where I was like, seeing something was like, oh, this looks fucking cool and I want it now.
Yeah.
Speaking of
very well regarded,
like kind of Nintendo Game Boy adjacent, Welcome In a Silly Duck has a really wholesome story. Now I'm scared to read chat. Rabbit has scared me. I have a home video of like 2 years old meeting my little brother for the first time. My parents were worried about me being jealous. So he said, look, Brandon, it's your brother. He brought you gifts. And then gave me Super Mario Brothers 3 and a fire truck.
Amazing.
Needless to say, it worked.
That's fucking sick.
Also,
Eternal
shout
Darkness
out
is also
for bringing up Star Tropics in the chat. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
Oh, yes.
Oh, hell
they brought
yeah.
up Star Tropics.
Eternal Darkness is the beginning of the fucking downfall of Silicon Knights, the fucking developers there. The series of events. Also, it's funny, the DNA there, because the next game that they do after that is the remake of Metal Gear Solid 1 that does the same kind of fuckery with like controller ports and stuff like that.
How weird. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, but then after fucking Twin Snakes, they do 2 Human and then X-Men Destiny, and then they cease to exist.
Yeah.
Aw, sad.
So fucking funny.
That is sad.
Funny. Tough times.
One more Game Boy one. Did either of you play the like? This one was particularly on Game Boy Advance. I don't know if it got put onto any other Game Boy adjacent, but the TMNT game on Game Boy. Either of you played that one?
The Game Boy one. I played the Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Okay,
There was more than one, but I don't remember Game Boy.
I do remember the Game Boy one, and that was another one that I remember just being profoundly difficult. But I was super into that one, and then I think there was another one on GameCube, if I remember correctly.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, there's like basically every era of console, there was some sort of TMNT game that was fire.
Speaking of Game Boy, how about this image? Everybody put yourself in the mindset of Y2K. It's 1999. It's about to be the turn of the century, the turn of the millennium, Jake. And my parents let us stay up. It was the first time I ever tried alcohol. I had a little bit of champagne that night. But I have this picture from my childhood of me holding a little Game Boy Color. I don't know what game it is on there.
That's so cute.
But that's Una, our dog Una down there, my 2 brothers, and my mom. But I wonder if we can figure out what game that was. Jake.
Maybe, potentially.
Look what I got chilling right here, dude.
Look at that. It's so funny. I always thought I had a teal one, but I had the green Game Boy. I would have sworn I had the teal one.
High school quickly said we had the same haircut.
That's so funny. Mine, for some reason, the game that I associate with the Game Boy Color is a game that no one would ever associate with the Game Boy Color, and it is the video game version of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Last Action Hero. For some reason,
oh my God.
I played so much Last Action Hero on the Game Boy Color, and the game was not fun. I think I just thought it was cool that I got to be Arnold Schwarzenegger in a video game, I guess. But that's, for some reason, that's like the Game Boy game to me.
That's really funny.
Okay, so this is a perfect segue into the great Game Boy meltdown of 2000 for old Jake Twitchin. And it has to do with the very Game Boy I just showed you, because now in retrospect, I don't even have this Game Boy anymore. The punchline is sitting here in my hands. It's this green Game Boy Color that I showed you. In retrospect, one of my favorite consoles I ever owned was my atomic purple Game Boy fucking Color. Yeah. Just an iconic system, the see-through, so sick. And when the Game Boy Color launched, it only came in 2 colors. It was like a solid purple and the see-through purple. So the answer was obviously fucking see-through purple. And I had that and I loved it for, I think, a couple of years. And then they did the thing, they made the push where they kind of did like a re-release, and they announced and put out the Game Boy Color after the fact in a bunch of different colors. And there was one specific day where we went to the mall, and then we were going to my sister's horseback riding fucking lessons.
Whoa.
And when we
Equestrian
went to the
tuition.
mall, we went to the mall. I, was walking around, going to the fucking game stores, blah, blah, blah. I had my Game Boy Color with me, my purple Game Boy Color. I was excited. My sister decided she wanted the Game Boy Color, and the new colors had just come out, and she was like, I want the green one. And my sister got a brand new green Game Boy Color, and I started to spiral.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, dude, I want the fucking green one. I like video games more than you. You should take the purple one, and I should get the green one. And it did not go well, as you can imagine. So during my meltdown on the way to the fucking horseback riding lessons, I refused to leave the car, and I was in there with my fucking Game Boy. I was in there with my Game Boy fucking crying and being a little brat. And there's this legendary fucking quote where they're getting out of the car and I'm refusing to leave, and they're like, just put the Game Boy down, come out, you can feed the horses. And I just screamed, I hate horses. And my parents and my sister will not let me forget it. Anytime like a horse is in like a movie, or we like drive by fucking horses or something like that, they all just like, I hate horses.
I hate
Please pull up the
horses.
Jake Twitchin baby photo so we can see who was saying this.
Yes, good call.
Because right after we have pictures of me with
I
horses.
hate horses.
There he
But
is.
joke's
That's
on her, because
so
guess
good.
who's fucking holding on to the green Game Boy Color after all these years?
There you go.
Look at his little face.
Look at his little I hate horses face.
Oh my
This
god.
kid hates fucking horses for sure.
Was
So
this
you've
about
always
the
had a
age you
big
would've
ass
been?
head, huh?
Aw.
No, yeah, I've had a big head for a long time, and that's
Yeah.
all the hair that I ever had. Once that expired, it was gone. This is younger. I'm probably, I don't know how old kids are. Someone can probably eyeball this better than I can.
Like
But
four?
I'm playing the
Four-ish.
NES there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was way too old to be having a fucking meltdown about the Game Boy. I was like 11.
Yeah.
Patrick, please cue the rodeo
Yep.
Kayla. We've got some Kayla horse pictures here.
Do you want
This was
just you first?
yes, please
Okay.
share. So this was like CD-ROM playing Kayla era here, but look at my little outfit.
Unbelievable outfit. Honestly.
This is play as fuck.
This was for a like school event, but like this was not abnormal for me to be dressed like this. I was
Yeah.
probably like, I think I was 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6
Obsessed
actually.
with this
Look how freaking, look at my little backpack. I think that was a
Yeah.
Barbie backpack. I'm pretty sure.
When our backpacks were the
And-
size of our bodies.
Yeah, and my
Mhm.
little like cowboy vest I had. But the next photo that I have for you is me in my full horse girl era, because I never had horses as a kid, but my behind us in our backyard there was horses. Circa
Whoa.
2005. Look how cute this photo is. Also, shout out to
It's a
Nancy.
beautiful photo.
Nancy really be documenting my whole life for me. These are not my horses. This was the backyard horses, but this was who was playing Barbie Horse Adventures on her computer. So
That's so
yeah.
funny.
Mhm. That's the.
We have one more
era.
picture. We have softball cake.
Oh yeah. This was. I don't remember why I sent this. I said I had reasons for all of these, but I don't remember what the reason was for this one. But
Sure.
It's just a cute picture. This was.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
I think it was.
Very good.
I think it was like 7 in this photo, but this was probably my GameCube era, which was also a really fun era.
Hell yeah.
My top GameCube games, because we were talking about like Game Boy and that kid hits dingers is really
That's
funny.
so
I
funny.
didn't actually. I was bad. I was a catcher, which is funny because I was like the smallest on the team, so everybody was always like mean to me, saying like, "How can you be a catcher?" And I was like,
Boo.
"I'll show them. I love horses." I'm like, Jake Twitch. But yeah, my top like GameCube games that have core memories for me is Super Mario Strikers. We've talked about it
Sure.
endlessly. We really need to play the original and play it together. We always said we were going to do that, but we really didn't.
Oh, why don't we do that?
Not-
Because it's on the NSO now. Let's do that in person.
We could,
I
and
was gonna
also I'm sure
suggest
Josh
Mario
has
Tennis
it.
as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's going to be like 2 weeks before the new Mario Tennis comes out.
Yeah.
Mario Sports Jamboree, could be a thing.
It's not too late.
You
Jake.
guys ask for it. And then
Sounds
I
really-
also Super Mario Sunshine was my main one,
Yeah,
mainline Mario game that I played on the GameCube. And then also I played Rampage on GameCube. Did you guys play any Rampage?
I fuck with Rampage so heavy.
I played
Let's
so
go.
much fucking Rampage. Oh my god.
It's good.
Rampage would be a banger for people to play together.
Yes.
I think
That
I
would
don't
be
think it's.
really
I don't think
players.
it's anywhere though. Like unless
It's on all
There's like a
consoles,
PS2,
though.
GameCube, Xbox version for sure.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of
like,
different
but
versions.
I mean, like, in the modern console space, I don't think that there's like
Oh,
an
I
old
don't think so.
version of
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's a good
Now, if
re-release. You can
Josh
probably play the
has a
original
copy,
shitty one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
that's
what. If
something.
Josh
Oh,
has a copy of Rampage, because I'm bringing my analog 3D, well, let's sub that in for like X-Men Legends or something. I
on
just
the
spoiled
Yeah,
that,
Nintendo
you
but
guys are hearing
64,
behind the curtain.
fucking
yeah,
Rampage 2 World Tour on the Nintendo 64 is like, to me, the quintessential sequel of like, holy fuck. I played the first game. It's these 3 absolute freakos that you can play as. They're so cool. And then in the second one, those 3 freakos have been captured. We've got 3 new freakos, and this time you're going all over the entire world to big cities to beat the fuck out of Tokyo and New York and San Francisco and rescue those other 3 characters, and then you can play as all of them. It was so fucking rad.
I remember Rampage was the one time I got to be that cool neighborhood kid house where like the
yeah,
neighborhood kids would come to my house like and play it because I had the GameCube and we had all the controllers. I think you could have what, like 4 controllers
4.
on the
I think
GameCube.
so.
Yep.
And then I also ended up so we did a lot of yard sale gaming shopping and like we would acquire various like peripherals from yard sales.
Yeah.
And do you guys remember the little like wireless controller adapter for the GameCube one? It had like a little
The
like
Wavebird.
Yeah,
It's like a block, right?
yeah, the little block, and I think it was silver. I think the
Yep.
actual controller was
There's silver and a gray.
Yeah, so we had all the controllers, and I remember like there was this neighborhood boy I had a crush on. He would be like, come to my house and play GameCube, play Rampage. But it was me and my cousins and my brother, and then this random neighborhood kid boy who was using me for my GameCube at like age
That's funny.
like 7.
Yeah.
I love the Wavebird controller because I love the way that it connects. I think it's like an RF connection still way back in the day, but the way that you pair up that controller with its dock is a little tiny spinning wheel on the bottom with the numbers 1 through 20. So you like turn it to number 17 on the little spin wheel on the controller hub. And then on the bottom of your controller, you flip it over and you have to turn that thing to 17 as well. That way, if there's 4 Wavebirds or 5 households all using 4 Wavebirds at the same time, you're not
That's
smashing
funny.
all the fucking same things.
I don't remember that part of it.
I remember
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Cool. It's satisfying click to it too. It's like
last GameCube game that I'll mention because I know Jake will understand, and I forgot to mention this in the racing game section, but Freak Style, absolute banger GameCube game.
Ooh.
It's so good.
Love Freak Style.
One of my somebody in the chat, I think it was High Score Weekly earlier, mentioned like family vocal stems, like little like memory. And you with your family and the horse thing, mine is like brah brah from like the Freak Style, like one of the
That's so funny.
Banging soundtrack, absolutely incredible soundtrack.
Formative.
Yeah,
very good. That reminds me of do you guys have any like specific console launches that you remember being like really fruitful? Because mine Freak Style reminds me of Trick Style. And if you don't know Trick Style, that's an old Dreamcast launch game where you play races on a hoverboard, and it is not very good, but it is developed by fucking Criterion Games, who would go on to make fucking like Burnout and Need for Speed and shit like that. They're really dope. There's also a PS2 sequel to it, kind of actually just a remake called Airblade that some people have played. That's a little bit more popular, but really banging. But I wrote down all of the Sonic. I don't know all of the Dreamcast launch day games that actually launched that I owned. I'm not sure if I got them all on launch day. I know I got a good handful of them on launch day, but all of these games came out on the same fucking day in the US. So at least in the first year, I dropped into fucking Sonic Adventure, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Hydro Thunder, Pen Triathlon, NFL 2K, Power Stone, Mortal Kombat Gold, and Soul Calibur.
Wow.
Ready to Rumble Boxing, I played so much of. I was really big on boxing games until like the 360 era. I think the last one I really played was like Fight Night Round 3, maybe. But
that was when they fell off. Was after that. Yeah. The Fight Night Round 2 demo I played a ton of with my buddies. You could only play one round. There were only 2 characters, but it was one that introduced that like fight stick where you would like kind of like knock back a punch and uppercut some fools. Yes, the slow motion with the fucking face getting all distorted. It's very good.
Fighting games, again, are not normally my wheelhouse, but when I think about a fighting game I played when I was younger, because my my dad and my family had this. They had fight nights. Did your families have like fight nights where they would watch like UFC on like pay per view?
One
Like,
time, and then we
yeah,
weren't allowed to do it again because we begged my parents to do. It was a WWF pay per view,
yeah,
wrestling, and we begged them to because we always wanted it, but they would never do it because they were very expensive. And the
yeah.
one time they finally did it, we were just playing the whole time, like wrestling ourselves, and so we didn't even
Oh,
really watch. And so they were like, "You just
yeah,
paid like $100 or whatever, and you guys were just bullshitting the whole time, so we're never doing that
yeah.
again."
We didn't do it, like, we weren't allowed to watch it as kids, but so my parents had this, like, iconic little, uh, like, tiny tube TV in the garage where they would, like, smoke and, like, watch the game in the garage. I always wanted to be with them
Fuck.
so much. I wanted to be
Transport
so
me
cool.
there.
Yeah, I could never go, and because I was young and I was, like, so mad I'd have to stay in the, like, living room,
Hmm.
but so that's a very
Oh no,
iconic core memory of
oh,
them like
she's back.
watching the UFC fight on this little tiny TV, and smoking cigarettes in the garage. But then I would be on my GameCube simultaneously playing UFC Throwdown on the GameCube.
Whoa.
What you guys know about UFC Throwdown? Don't know anything about
I
that?
haven't played it. The first one was UFC Undisputed for me, the 2009 one.
Oh, okay, yeah. This one I don't
I don't think I
remember
ever
what.
played a UFC game.
It was just like fun because you could. I mean, we would basically me and my brother would make like tournament list as we would play as like every single combo and like tally up who won the most against each person.
Yeah.
And so we had like a
Yeah.
binder where we would write down, I'm gonna be Anderson Silva and you're gonna be
Mhm.
Rampage Jackson and you're gonna fight together. And
Oh,
whoever wins gets a point. And it was like a really iconic time.
Yeah.
That's like a really core memory.
we used to
Go ahead.
do this thing for Smash Brothers 64, my friends and I, where we would call it a tour. I think there were like 9 or 10 um stages in Smash 64. So what we would do is we would get together and then start on like one stage and then work all the way clockwise, all the way back around to that stage and play every single stage in like time and stock and change up the battles and change our characters and then keep track of who had the best record at the end of that. Every time we'd be like, you guys want to get together and do a tour after school?
That's
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
good.
take
that's
the
a
tour.
really fun thing to think about too, is like the little tournaments like we would make for ourselves and like
Yes.
play. Like we used to do that kind of stuff all the time. I can't
Yeah.
But
remember
also
like
just like in
really.
general, multiplayer then when online wasn't a thing. Whether it was make it your own, like even I remember like with Halo 2, like making our own games. Granted that was online, but of like
Yeah.
the custom games and things like that. Or yeah, like with sports games, making like a bracket to like create your own storyline type thing was very fun.
Mhm.
But do you guys have any other standout like couch co-op or not co-op specifically, but couch multiplayer older video games? Like one that stands out to me really vividly. Have either of you played Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64?
No.
Oh man, I know exactly where you're going. You take it away, baby.
Yeah, so Conker's Bad Fur Day, Kayla, is a rare. So the people that make like Donkey Kong 64, they made a platformer of this squirrel that was just like very. It was one of the only, if not the only, rated M game on the N64. So he was like a very vulgar squirrel for whatever reason. But the shtick of the game was at the beginning of the game, Conker is trying to get home, but he is leaving the bar and he's drunk and he can't find his way home because he's too drunk. And so then he goes on this like adventure trying to find his way home. And on his way home, he keeps going through different like movie spoofs. So there's like a Matrix level. There's one of the more famous ones. There's a Saving Private Ryan level where it instead of like invading the beach of Normandy, you're invading the beach of whatever, and there's these like evil teddy bears that are trying to kill you on this beach. And so then they made like multiplayer modes for each of these like versions of the game. And so we would play so much of the like beach multiplayer mode where it would be split screen and there would be like two of you as the evil teddies and like the turrets just trying to shoot these little squirrels that are trying to like get through the beach of Normandy essentially. But the hours we sunk into that was unreal with that game.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny to hear which ones like stood out to you, because one of the great shames of the world is, first of all, Conker's Live and Reloaded for the Xbox with its backwards compatibility and upscaling on modern Xbox consoles, the Series S and X, looks fucking fantastic. Might be the best looking original Xbox game, especially like the way that it gets up-resed. However, they redid the multiplayer for that game. That's now, of course, dead. But even the split screen one was not the same as the 64 multiplayer version. The 64 had much. Yeah, so it was good on its own right. I played a lot of Conquer Live and Reloaded multiplayer, but it was kind of a more traditional like third-person shooter, and I think it was kind of based on like the beach level. I remember spending a lot of time doing that kind of thing. But the one that hit really good for my friends and I was the fucking heist mini game from that, where everyone is like a weasel, and you have to like go and kind of like pick up your weapons from like neutral spots that are contested. It's very fucking sick, and it just like a really interesting. It's a bunch of different multiplayer modes that are each very, very distinct. There's a lot to do in that video game multiplayer, surprisingly.
That could be a fun in-person multiplayer stream, because that in Rare
my
Replay,
guess is it's janky.
It probably is, but the Rare Replay version is the N64 version, but then you can also download the Live and Reloaded version separately, technically. So we could try one or the other. But I would think the N64 one would probably be the move.
Very good.
I don't really have any other like co-op ones besides obviously the classic like Guitar Hero, which came out in like 2005 on the PlayStation 2. We're getting a little bit like later into consoles, but did anybody have the Xbox 360? Like in its Xbox 360, while it had like a rough, obviously we could go into the whole like Red Ring of Death of it all. But I was still like pretty young when that console first came out, and like the first like round of games started coming out. I didn't realize that the Viva Pinata, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Same company that made Conquer they made
Really?
Viva Pinata.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, gotcha.
Gutted last year. Sorry to damper this.
And that's our show, folks.
I freaking love Viva Pinata. I didn't realize it came out in 2006. I for some reason thought it was a little bit later, but
did you
there's
play
like
both
many
of them?
iterations of that one. I did, yeah.
The 360 era, I'm getting a little old at that point for like early memories. But I would get tanked in my basement with my friends and play fucking Rock Band for 4 hours. It was awesome.
The 360 era, Sirius Shard said Xbox 360 era was the best gaming. Games generally shipped playable and multiplayer experiences were peak. Yeah, the Xbox 360 is where I first began my like online multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
Like obviously there was like a couple of like forum online things I would do like with certain games, but like my actual like online experience began like Xbox 360 with like Black Ops era kind of things. And,
mine was Xbox.
Fallout New Vegas. Yeah.
Mine was the first Xbox.
Same.
With either Halo 2 or I think I've talked about it on the podcast before. GoldenEye Reloaded, I think it was called, or no, GoldenEye Rogue Agent was the Xbox version. Played so much of that online. But yeah, Xbox was my first online experience.
Original Xbox was the dawn of like console online gaming, and it was a little bit into the console's life cycle as well. Because I remember very specifically, Halo is a fucking cultural phenomenon. I'm playing multiplayer, split screen, LAN parties with my friends. It's unbelievable. Halo 2 is gearing up to come out with full Xbox Live capability. And I remember, like, I think that game launched in like September, I want to say. But I remember ramping up to that and being like, I need Xbox Live, I need an Xbox in my room, and we need high-speed internet, no more dial-up. And that was the catalyst for getting like a fucking cable modem and switching our internet provider. Like I was like, all I want this year for my birthday, for Christmas, for fucking anything that I'm doing is this thing. And fucking bless my parents, they got it for me to the point of, I remember it was a month before the Halo 2 came out, I got the Xbox Live starter pack, which was like a big box, and it came with the headset, the Xbox Live communicator, 12 months of Xbox Live, and I was like, what's the hottest Xbox game to play on Xbox Live right now, so that I could get on and, you know, test it and have something to do. And I spent that month leading up to Halo playing Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow online, and it was so fucking sick. And like, not only was there sweet multiplayer in that, but there's a mode called Terrorist Hunt where you're basically a fucking, it's normal. It's basically
it's just funny, I think.
No, it's just the concept of there being a mode called Hunt Terrorists, I think is funny. Like it's
but there was like it was like a PvE, so it was like you and 3 friends were a team, a fucking combat team, and you were, you know, infiltrating fucking bases and bombing walls, and it was really, really sick. There was a lot going on in that game. That was
Rainbow Six and also, of that era. Oh my god.
The fucking the dawn of long ass wire, and my parents were so mad that I had to get this wire that would go all the way through the house, and I was like, there's no
Yeah.
getting around it, and they were like, there is getting around it. And my parents that fucking winter, they strung an Ethernet cable out my second story window into the house through the fucking sliding door, and then that whole time they like weatherproofed the slit in the sliding door with a little hole for the fucking Ethernet cord to pop out.
Oh my
That's so good.
god. Yeah, we
That's
did
so good.
like Rabbit in the chat that we ran like a 50-foot cord from our modem was in our living room, and we would normally play in the basement. So we would run it down the basement stairs into the basement.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like such a fucking hazard. I'm surprised no one ever broke their face tripping on that Ethernet cord. But I always really wanted to try to convince them to just drill a hole in the floor and the ceiling. And they were like, "No, you're fucking crazy." But could have worked, you know.
Man, it's just not the same.
It's not the same. You know what we didn't talk about really is Gamefaqs.
I don't know
The
what
dawn
that
of the
is.
internet. Oh, damn.
Kayla, you don't know Gamefaqs? So Gamefaqs was,
so.
at least for me, was the first time that I understood that walkthroughs existed. And so you would go on Gamefaqs, spelled with a Q, as Josh says in the chat, and you would just like
And
search a
FAQ
game.
stands for frequently asked questions. Is
Right.
the
Okay.
way that this was set up.
But then there would, and it was kind of hit or miss because it was all made by the people, and so you might go for like looking
Reddit.
for like kind of, yeah, you would look for, it was a forum essentially, and you would go like look for a game, and there might be like 4 or 5 different versions. Sometimes it would be like hyper specific, like just for collectibles or the whole game, and there would be people would format them in such like specific ways where, because it would just be this like massive Word doc essentially, but it would be
Right,
like
it's
they
like a
would outline
.txt
it
file.
with like dashes and stuff of like level 1, and then they would format it as best they could. But we would print those things out, and my parents would get so pissed because we print out like 200 pages of the Resident Evil 4 walkthrough instead of, you know, just getting up and walking from the computer to the TV and doing. But Gamefaqs was an insta fucking tuition back then.
That's good.
Okay,
No, I
so
remember.
Gamefaqs,
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake,
Gamefaqs kind of was like a supplement to like a strategy guide, and I have a fantastic strategy guide story for you all.
Yes,
So
please.
when I was in the PS2 era, I was brought on a vacation down to Florida at a very pivotal time. All right, so I'm a huge fan of the game Final Fantasy X, a new RPG fan, right? And there has never been a sequel to a Final Fantasy game. Each one is its own brand new entry. There's been 10 of them. They are sequential. Each one is a brand new story, not connected to the last. I've only played one of them because Final Fantasy X is so fucking special to me. I am like obsessed with it, but I'm not getting the same thing out of anything else. And I finally find out that they're making Final Fantasy, not 12, but Final Fantasy X-2, a sequel to the fucking Final Fantasy game that I love the most. And I was absolutely fucking crazy about it. So I'm amped up. I got this whole fucking thing happening. We're on our way down to Florida, driving to Florida, by the way. Final Fantasy X-2 is not out. I was in that car. Hold on. Side story. On that trip down, it's like a 20-hour fucking trip from my place down to Florida.
Oh my God.
Small TV in between the driver's seat and the passenger seat, me in the backseat of the minivan, fucking playing SSX3 the entire way down on my PS2.
Oh, it's a PS2. I was going to ask, did you have the GameCube with the screen that popped up?
I never had the screen. I wish I did. I had that for the PS1, the PSONE, the first party one from Sony. I still have that somewhere. It's fucking rad.
That's so good.
However, I get down to Florida, and here's the fucking gag. It's so terrible. Final Fantasy X-2 comes out on, let's call it the 11th. The cruise leaves on the 12th. And I can't bring my PS2 on the fucking cruise ship. I had brought it down to my grandmother's house. So on the 11th, I get Final Fantasy X-2. And I get fucking home with it. And I have the fucking strategy guide, and I play it for like 8 hours, and I'm so fucking amped up, and I love it so much, and I can't wait to fucking play more. And it's ripped away from me for fucking 7 days to go on this cruise. And the only thing that I could do as a fucking 12-year-old boy was grab that strategy guide and bring it with me so that I could learn everything there was to learn about Final Fantasy X-2. The only problem is I don't know if you've ever seen the cover art for Final Fantasy X-2, but a fucking very young yet somehow advanced Coomer, Jake Twitchin, was walking around a fucking cruise ship in like 2001 holding just like these 3 anime waifus scantily clad on the cover of this book, bringing it to fucking dinner, bringing it to the fucking pool and reading through and looking at all this shit. It's so fucked up, dude.
Jake, we know what you did with that guy. Did you have your own bedroom on that cruise?
I did not.
Okay, so maybe you didn't do that with the guide.
I didn't.
Oh my god, that's
but
so
when I
good.
got home.
Kayla, if you don't know, the 3 women in Final Fantasy X-2 famously all very hot. So I just assume
Is Tifa one of them?
Yuna, Riku.
Tifa's not one of them.
No, Yuna and Riku.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't played any Final Fantasy game, which will be solved this year at some point. It will be documented.
Hell yeah.
No doubt.
But not yet. No, that's really funny though. I do remember strategy guides, and I remember like cheat codes too. Like we didn't talk about GTA at all, but like me and my brother had like there was cheat codes was a very big era. Also with Sims, it was a big era. We didn't talk about Sims at all. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy that we didn't talk about Sims. We played. Oh my god, we could have honestly just a Sims podcast. To be honest,
I mean, I would love that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure R1, R2, L1, R2, left, R1, R1 triangle, but then also R1, R2, L1, R2, left down, right up are both fucking codes for GTA weapons and shit, like GTA 3 weapons.
And they would do the thing like the left down, right up, but then you go like up, right, left, down, up, right, left, and then just like flip it around.
It was always like a spiral where you started on the left.
Yeah. I used to have all those
fucking
things in my memory of like, it's a new GTA game. I'm just gonna do all those codes because they're probably the same.
There was like a book of cheat codes that we had, like an actual like published novel, like cheat code novel.
I remember they were oddly shaped. Did you have an oddly shaped one?
Yeah, it was like a pocket book almost. Like I wish I could remember what it was exactly, but it was not just GTA. It was like like a lot of games, like cheat codes in this like booklet. But I can't remember what it was. But man, what a fun!
I had something
kind of the same
similar.
Vibe.
I remember like Mortal Kombat cheats in that book specifically for some reason.
Yeah. I didn't play Mortal Kombat, but I believe it that there was cheat codes in there.
What else? What are we missing?
I think we covered like most of it. I think.
Yeah, I have like very random, like individual, like they're like fleeting thoughts of memories that I can run through. But like I experienced Rage for the first time playing Adventure Island for the NES, where like there was no reason for that game to be so hard. It's a fucking 2D side scroller. My first kiss was with a very nice girl inside the Jurassic Park arcade game that had a curtain on it with light guns.
That girl was Hillary Rodham Clinton.
That's correct. I wonder where she is now. I got a really good one. One of the most special moments in my fucking life was I got the street date broken at a Walmart by like 4 days for NBA Street 2. And in my group of friends, ball was life with NBA Street 1. So we were counting down days for NBA Street 2. And I came to fucking school on like Tuesday. It was supposed to come out on Friday. And I was like, I got the fucking game right now. I played it last night. Jordan is in it. The fucking graphics are incredible. My house, 3 p.m. And it was an insane week. Just so many fucking tournaments. Passing the game off like multiplayer to get through a whole thing and unlock all the characters and shit. Really, really dope getting that early.
I can't remember if I ever got a broken street date game. I remember a lot of like getting games on launch day or like getting games for an event.
Yeah.
Like I think I've talked about getting Gauntlet Dark Legacy on the GameCube for Easter. Like those kinds of things of like very formative getting a game for a thing. But I don't know that I ever broke a street date, but I always hoped to. I remember, I can't remember what game, but I remember like calling Walmart and GameStop for like, hey, do you guys have this yet? Because like sometimes release dates were a little shaky, but I don't have a specific memory of getting one early.
Oh,
Yeah, it's funny
Do
how
you
so many
guys
of those
have
memories are correlated to like specific trips or specific like birthdays or
Yeah,
like holidays.
Yeah.
for sure.
I'll never forget the Christmas I got my Xbox 360. Like, and
Nice.
me, it was always funny too, because like we didn't have a ton of money growing up, so like it was very intentional. Like, this is for you and your brother, like
Yeah.
together.
Of
But the
course.
first time we got like separate consoles was the Nintendo DS, where we both got our own DS. I got the pink one, and he got the red
Yep.
one. And funny story, I don't know if you guys ever had this happen where you got duped by like a game or a console that you bought that had like not the game inside of it or not the console inside of it. So like
I don't think
when we
so.
bought my brother's Nintendo DS had a brick inside of it instead of the DS off the shelf of Walmart. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, and
god.
thankfully we were like in the parking lot. Obviously, he's super hype. He's opening his because like I think the whole thing was like mine was available the color that I wanted, and like my brother's like they ended up changing his color or something. Like he wanted the red one, and we went to Walmart, and I remember like I stayed in the car and I was like playing mine in the car, and I was and he went in with my parents to like go get the right color that he wanted, and they come out and he's like ripping it open. And he's like, "What the hell is this?" It was a brick inside of
A
there.
brick
So
in
they
the
had to go
box
back
is
in.
fucking crazy.
That's crazy. That
Yeah,
has to be
and he's
like
like
an old
crying.
school fucking fraud. Like somebody bought that, resealed it, returned it with a brick inside of it, and they're playing their like free DS, which I'm pretty sure
Yes.
will get you like put in
Yeah.
jail.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this is a long time ago, but like, yeah. Did anybody else ever have that where you like open the game and it's like missing or like anything crazy like that?
Not that I can think of.
Nothing too wild. I think like outside of like some defective games that didn't work from like
Yeah.
used game stores and shit like that, but
Oh,
never like
that
wrong.
was the
Oh,
worst.
I got fucking duped on. I bought a copy of SSX on tour used for like $40 and then didn't play it for like a month. Like it was like, you know, it was like GameStop had like buy two get one free, and I was like, oh, I need this one, this one, and this one, and they're all $40, so $80, and I get all three of these kind of newish games, and I'll play them when I get to them. And I brought it home and I did like set it down and forgot about it, and then played it a month and a half later when I finally had time to get into SSX on tour, and I put it in, and it was a fucking demo disc, not the real fucking disc.
Oh no.
And it was like, you know, it was like a 2 months after I bought it, so it was all beyond the 30 days, and then I'd have the fucking crazy story. I just got fucking saddled
Damn.
with it. Yeah.
Oh
That's
man.
brutal.
Bad.
I think I had an experience once of getting a used game and it was like too scratched to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there was like sometimes the Hollywood Video or the Blockbuster would have that like machine that would like resurface it or whatever.
Yes. The machine. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I forgot about that. Like the little like I had
Mhm.
one. I think we actually had one at our house.
Really?
Oh,
Because
the
my dad
fucking disc
also.
doctor with the crank.
Yes. Yes, the crank.
We had
'Cause
like
my
like a
dad
cream that you would like wipe with it, but we didn't have a machine.
allegedly my dad would like burn movies off of online like all the time. Like he
Right.
was very much like he had a whole like thing. So we never did that with games, but we had that for that reason. Like we had a ton of like CDs, movies, DVDs, like little machine thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have something break like tragically too soon?
Ooh.
I had snafu. My first ever fat PS2 was not, it was in a precarious position plugged in, and I had it ejected the disc out of it, so like the tray comes out automatically. It fucking like like it barely makes its way out, you know, on its little like pulley and lever crank system. So I pulled the disc out and I turned around to like put the disc away and grab the other thing, and I hit with my elbow, and the whole fucking thing fell, and the fucking disc tray snapped off, and I was like, I have no PS2 anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
the
and you
one
just had
for
to take care of your
me-
shit, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
We had
Or it was
with the
gone.
Sega Genesis. I don't remember exactly how it went down because I was pretty young, but we got the Sega CD like add-on to the Genesis because I don't know if it was
Sick.
always like this, whether you could just buy the Sega CD on its own, Josh would probably remember, or if it was always just the add-on to the Genesis. I'm not sure how that worked, but ours was the add-on version. And I remember it was like night one that we got it. It broke. Like we broke it on accident. I don't remember exactly how, but I remember we played like a little Sonic CD and we played a little of like some Spider-Man Sega CD game. And then we never got to do any of it ever again because it broke like so immediately because
Mhm.
I don't remember if it was something that was like really fragile or if we did something stupid. I'm too young to remember, but I remember being like,
Yeah.
well, shit. I guess we don't get to play the Sega CD now.
Yeah.
I worked at GameStop during the release of the PlayStation Portable. And if you guys are familiar with the UMD, the Universal Media Disc,
I sure am.
well, that was not a very intuitive system for how those like things worked. And a lot of people that bought PSPs on launch or got their PSP soon after and got a UMD, if you're not familiar with it, Kayla, or listeners at home, it's basically a disc that's inside of like a semicircle plastic enclosure cartridge looking thing, and you would basically put that entire enclosure into the PSP, snap it shut, and then that disc would spin inside of its own individual enclosure every single time. However, it didn't look unlike a jewel case for like a small disc. So a lot of people would come home, snap the UMD out of the fucking packaging, look at this thing, see the disc inside of this piece of like transparent plastic, rip that fucking packaging open, so now it's just a little disc, and then try to put that disc inside of the PSP.
Can't
you
do
have
it.
now broken completely.
I didn't
You
have a
cannot do
PSP.
anything about this.
I always wanted
So there
one,
was a
though.
lot of refunds to the point of like there was at a point like the PSP wasn't selling like fucking hotcakes. So at GameStop, when we would sell a PSP game or a PSP in those weeks following launch, we would be like, "Are you going to be playing it yourself? Let me show you how this works." You open it up and you press down on the case here. The disc pops out. Leave this part on it. Insert it into the console.
Because it was
That's
that
crazy.
dang. That's crazy.
Was there a point in
Now-
which it was like you're not going to take returns anymore?
I think they ate the cost on everything. I don't know what it was nationwide. It's GameStop, so they were probably like, "Well, you shouldn't have broken it."
Yeah. The only thing that I had really kind of similar to that was like Red Ring of Death with like the Xbox, and my cool older cousin like fixed it for me once. Did you guys ever have like you could do the towel trick?
Yeah,
where you
The
had to like
towel
melt.
trick.
You had to like
Friend
wrap.
of the show.
Yeah.
Cheapy D, owner of cheapassgamer.com, David, a buddy of mine from the internet way back in the fucking day, invented the towel trick.
No.
He invented the towel
on
trick?
YouTube.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
bald
crazy.
icon. Yep.
Wow.
Do you
Bald
guys just like all stick
representation, for real.
together? Or?
Mostly, yeah. We always have each other's backs. Let's see.
Yeah.
Conventions,
He posted the video. It was 18 years ago. It was August 9th, 2007. It's got
That's crazy.
Oh my
2.7
god.
2.7 million views. The Xbox 360 towel trick. Shown on
That's cool. You
CNBC.
said bald icons of gaming.
Noah in the chat earlier said he stole a game from a pawn shop where he also hid a disc in the book for the game since GameCube discs were so small. I felt so guilty about it. I threw up and returned it before I got home. It was very funny. I had the
That's
Red
so
Ring, and then I
good.
also had the first PS3 I bought in college. I used student loan money on. I bought it from this guy on eBay. For Georgia knowers, I drove up to Roswell to meet this guy at like a McDonald's, and I get it,
Oh,
and I'm like
God.
so excited. I get Uncharted. I get actually this might have been pre The Last of Us. I got Demon Souls. Like I got Metal Gear Solid 4. I got all of these like the highest rated games on the PS3 essentially, and
yeah.
I had it for a few months, and then I got the Yellow Light of Death, which was their version, not nearly as prevalent as the Red Ring of Death, but it's
A video
the
issue
same
or something
thing.
like that.
Yeah. But then I was like, well, fuck, I just invested like X hundreds of dollars into this on like controllers and games and stuff. So then I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to use the rest of my student loan money to just buy a new PS3 Slim at this point. But I specifically wanted the old fat one so that I could play PS2 games, because I had also accrued just like 15 different PS2 games like Hitman and Kingdom Hearts and these things. And so then I just had to bite the bullet and spend more money that I had to probably pay like 30% interest on over the course of 15 years.
Yeah.
Noah
had a
asks,
good
worst
question.
trade-in
Yeah.
deal you guys ever made at GameStop? I can't think of one, honestly, but I do remember like generally taking a bunch of them and then being like, that's all I get. Like I'm only getting
Yes.
$30 for like 18 games, but I don't remember any specific games.
I remember one very specific trip to GameStop where, like, if I could go back and slap these fucking games out of my goddamn hand, I would probably live a different life, where I had like a cardboard box and like a fucking overnight duffel bag full of PS1 and Nintendo 64 games that I unloaded very early in like the next generation's thing for probably pennies on the dollar. But it was like, here's the thing. I have a very firm place in the world when it comes to trading in games is that you should never feel bad about the games that you traded in you don't have anymore, because you had your experience with those games and they allowed you to have new experiences with games that you wouldn't otherwise have access to if it wasn't for getting rid of this. I wouldn't be a God of War fan if I hadn't gotten rid of my Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter. You know what I mean? So now I'm the gamer that I am now because I was able to give those games up as a kid. But when I tell you that I toted in fucking Paper Mario, Mario Party 1, 2, 3, Mario Kart 64, Super Smash Brothers, Spyro 1, 2, and 3, Crash 1, 2, and 3, and I probably got a good $300 or $400. Like I probably bought my GameCube with that money that I got that time. But fuck, man, that stuff is.
But it's like 6 of those games today is probably
and like
all of what you
oh
got.
my god,
Yeah.
for sure, with like boxes and manuals and shit. Like
Yeah.
That's
tough. But I get it. I agree. A very good sentiment of like, I think that's kind of like what this whole episode has been about, like the different eras of like gaming that we've gone through, like as adults, but we still look so fondly on those like original eras, which is kind of cool. Like we're reminiscing and like talking about how fun it was to be a gamer then, but think about how much you can access now as a gamer, like still all of those games and more, just like at the touch of your fingertips. And while it's not as like novelty as it was then, because it's not as difficult to get to them, it's very cool now that like we can still access a lot of those games
for sure
through emulators and things like that. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. And then things like the NSO, like the Nintendo Switch Online and those kinds of things of like, oh shit, I can just play WinBack on the N64 now on my Switch is it's cool. It's like, it's the kind of thing where especially like getting the analog 3D, I'm like, man, I wish I still had XYZ game. But like you said, like there's so many other ways to do it now that even though those experiences sometimes aren't as good as playing the original hardware, it is nice that it's at least an option for the most part for things.
Right. And I had the 70 megabyte file.
Right. The one thing though that it's like the Flash games are the ones that's like, man, a lot of those, which we never really got too deep on, with things like Miniclip and whatnot. But those things being gone, that hurts.
Video game preservation, Video Game History Foundation, fucking important shit. We're losing stuff still.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, gamers?
This was so fun.
I love games.
Very nostalgic feeling right now.
Yeah.
I fucking love video games. Oh my god.
Me too, dude. Me too.
I don't play a whole lot of video games.
We should start a podcast.
We should start a podcast. What are you guys doing on Thursdays? This was great. Chat, thanks for being here. Miniclip the GOAT. Noah C92. He's a knower. We will be back. When are we back next? I guess next week. I don't think we're doing anything in the next few days, are we?
Never know.
No.
Never know. I mean, who knows? Maybe a messy pod, maybe a stream, who knows? But we will see you at the very earliest next Thursday when we break down or the very latest rather, when we break down the underscore event of Xbox Developer Direct. As a very quick dart throw, Jake, what's the mystery game from Xbox?
I'm putting my money on Kiln from Double Fine finally. Yeah, okay. I think Double Fine was split in half, and one half was working on Kiln and one on Keeper. 2 small games. Psychonauts 3 after. The
dreamer in me wants it to be Blade, but it's not going to be a Blade. That's too big for that to be a secret game, but who knows? Anyway, we'll be back early next week with JK Games, Spotlight Games, all the things, Resident Evil streams, all those kinds of things. So thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, go to dropindropoutpod.com. Join the Discord with all these beautiful people in the chat. And we will see you next time. One last time. I will change it here. Let's listen to the Christmas theme song while we wave at the camera and say goodbye.